Schneller gelaufen.
Haben Sie schon zusammen gesprochen,
Nee.
dass der Brief am 8. März von Ihnen unterschrieben wurde und am 9. März ausgegangen ist? Und das Datum des Briefes ist der 9. März. Und erstellt wurde der Brief am 11. Februar, falls das
Ja. Danke. New Digital Agenda. Damit fangen wir jetzt an. Meine Damen und Herren, liebe Kollegen, darf Sie alle herzlich.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This afternoon we have a number of agenda items to debate together. We seem to have enough colleagues. Let's take item 7 for a new digital agenda for Europe 2015.eu. And the rapporteur is our colleague Pilar del Castillo, and she has the floor first.
Gracias, Presidente.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, indeed. This is our last debate on this now. And we will run through the amendments to the proposal on the new digital agenda 2015.eu. Well, the situation as things stand today is this. Unless there are any last-minute changes, there seem to be the basis for a solid agreement on basically the whole range, I would say, of groups in the committee. That is reflected in 28 compromise amendments, where we've struck the necessary agreement to give us a common position on the content of the digital agenda. I'd like to express my thanks to all the groups, all the shadow rapporteurs from the various groups, for their efforts to ensure that at this final stage we look set tomorrow to complete our work. I believe that the final outcome, the position of Parliament, reflected in the ITRE committee tomorrow and then next month in the plenary, that's assuming that the plenary aligns its position on our committee position tomorrow. This is coming, I think, at a very apposite moment in time, because we find ourselves at a juncture where all the European institutions, be it the Council, the Commission, or the current Spanish presidency, are all working on proposals heading in the same direction in pursuit of the same goal. We all want a strategic framework to provide some guidance which will allow us to lay the best possible conditions for the European Union to be able to make maximum profit from all the advantages opened up by the digital era. Parliament is in the vanguard as far as this endeavour is concerned. I think that should be a source of satisfaction to us. In response to our committee's initiative, Parliament, I think it was in August, called for a review of the 2010, and that has led up to the report that we will be voting on tomorrow. Now, following the publication of the telecom package, where support was being expressed not just by Parliament but also the Council and the Commission, we had all the institutions pulling together to lay down the foundations of a favourable environment for investment and wealth generation, for business, as well as protecting consumers' rights and so on. The next step, well, actually, it would be better to say there were two steps. We have to implement the telecom package quickly, in a consistent, substantial fashion in all member states. And that is a vital prerequisite for the digital agenda then to be developed. Well, once that came about, we couldn't wait until implementation. We needed, right as of now, to have a strategic reference framework that would define areas for action with palpable goals and specific actions to work towards those goals. So that's what we have in the digital agenda. At the end of the day, the concept behind this is that it will be that strategic reference framework that we all agree on and which will have a given content per area of action with specific objectives and the tools it needs to take action to achieve those objectives. I'll say no more. I don't think I need to add any more regarding the foundations that Parliament feels allowed us to build this strategic reference framework. But there are two fundamental elements I think I should mention. First of all, at the heart of all this action, this whole project, this reference framework in the digital age, are human beings as consumers and citizens. And so, there's the idea of empowerment. We want to make it easier for people to acquire the skills they need. We want to make it easier for them to obtain access to those networks that will allow them to obtain the information and opportunities available in every area. At the same time, we want to uphold consumer rights in a digital context. That is crucial. And so, in this virtuous circle, which you'll see reflected in the spiral diagram I've given you, the human individual is right at the centre of the spiral. I think I should also mention, though, that there's a second circle that I think is vital, and this is the single European digital market. The point has already been made. We've been banging on about this till people are sick of hearing this. Only 7% of online transactions carried out by EU citizens are actually cross-border transactions, whereas all the remainder are being carried out within individual member states. In other words, there's a huge fragmentation of the market, and that is leading to a lag in creating an efficient market for these 500 million consumers who could all be shopping online in this digital age. So doing away with the obstacles to this single market, which has to be open and competitive, with the necessary level of skills in that market being crucial, all this will ensure that every individual will have better opportunities. They will have a wider range of options open to them, and at the same time you will have price competition. That is absolutely necessary if people are to derive the greatest advantage from the system. So to put it in a nutshell, Chairman, colleagues, I'm not going to hog the floor much longer. I think we've come to a very interesting point in time now, which happens to coincide with the first year of our parliamentary term, and that means that members of Parliament